Hey beautiful people, Coach Steph here. 2026 is your year to grow into who God created you to be. This year, I'm sharing 12 months of transformation with 2 practical videos every month. We'll be talking about things like goal setting, self-worth, confidence, public speaking, and other themes that help you become more confident, more focused, and more you. If you're a young adult trying to figure life out, or a professional ready for your next level, or a woman juggling work, family, faith, and everything in between, these videos are for you. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any episodes. You can also save this video to come back to it later. Today, we're starting with video 1, why goals matter, how to set them. Repeating some of the key points shared in my previous videos. Why? Because knowing how to set goals and successfully achieving them is key. So let's get right into it. Section 1, why goals matter. Again, welcome to our January goal setting series. In this video, we're keeping it simple but powerful. 2 things, why goals matter, how to set goals that work in real life. Let's start with why goals matter. Number 1, goals give you direction. Imagine getting into a car, driving for hours, using petrol, being stuck in traffic, but never typed the address into the sat-nav. You're busy, you're moving, you're tired, but you're not actually going anywhere on purpose. That's what life can feel like without goals. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you scroll, you sleep. And deep down, you feel like, is this it? I'm moving, but am I moving toward anything? Listen to some common phrases. I just want my life to be better. I want to progress in my career. I want more balance in my life. These are real feelings and they are valid, but they are not directions. They don't tell your mind or your calendar where you're going. Now let's turn one of these into an actual direction. Instead of I want to be healthier, try by June I want to walk 5 kilometers without stopping. Feel the difference? That is specific. Your brain now knows. It knows the what, that is to walk 5 kilometers. It knows the how, to build stamina, and by when, which is June. That is what goals do. They give you direction. Next, goals help you focus. Without goals, every request, every invite, every distraction feels equally urgent. You say yes to everything. You get tired and you feel guilty because you're not moving forward in the areas that really matter to you. When you have a clear goal, it becomes a filter. Let's say your goal is by December, I want to be ready for a promotion at work. Now, when opportunities come up, you can ask, does this help me grow towards that promotion? If the answer is yes, maybe a project that stretches your skills, you can confidently say yes. If the answer is no, maybe a committee that takes time but doesn't grow you, you can give yourself permission to say no without guilt. For a busy woman, your goal might be, by March, I want to protect 1 evening a week just for rest and family. That goal helps you focus on your time. When something tries to take that evening, you can say, I'm not free that night. That's my protected time. Goals don't just live on paper. They shape your decisions, your calendar, and your energy. Next, goals build confidence and self-trust. The third reason is one of my favorites. Goals build confidence and self-trust. Many people think confidence is the personality type. You either have it or you don't. But real confidence often comes from this simple pattern. You make a promise to yourself, you keep that promise, you start to trust yourself. That trust is confidence. Let's make it really simple. Your goal. For the next month, I'll go to bed 30 minutes earlier, 3 nights a week. This is not glamorous. No one is clapping for you on social media, but every time you honor that goal, you're sending your brain a message, I matter. When I say I'll do something, I move. For young adults, it might be, I'll read or listen to something that grows me for 10 minutes every day. For professionals, it could be, I'll spend 15 minutes each day improving a key skill for my career. For women balancing many roles, it could be, I'll have 30 minutes of quiet time for myself each day. Small promises kept consistently, that's how confidence begins to grow. Now that you know what goals matter, let's talk about how to set them in a way that works in your real life, not some perfect fantasy life. We're going to keep this very simple. Number 1, avoid vague goals. First, we need to avoid vague goals. Vague goals sound like this. I want to get healthy. I want to be more confident. I want to grow spiritually. They sound nice, but they don't tell you what you do tomorrow morning. Think of them as headlines. You now need to write the small print. Number 2, make them clear and simple. Let's turn them into simple, clear goals. Examples. Instead of be more confident at work, try by March, I would like to speak up at least once in every team meeting. Instead of spend more time with God, you can try this. By February, I'll spend 15 minutes in prayer or journaling 5 mornings each month. Instead of get healthier, try by April, I'll walk for 15 minutes for 4 days a week. Notice what changed. You know exactly what you're doing. You know how often. You know by when. You're aiming for consistency. This doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be clear enough that you know what to do. Point 3. Use a quick checklist. When you write a goal, quickly run it through this checklist in your mind. Is it specific? That is, do I know exactly what I'm talking about? Can I measure it? That is, could I look back and say I did or I didn't? Is it realistic? Does it actually fit my life, my energy, my responsibilities? Is there a time frame? Is there a by when or a period I'm aiming for? If you can tick this, you're a good place to start. You're in a very good place to start if you can tick off all these boxes. Point number 4, keep the number small. Keep the numbers small. When life is already full, work, kids, family, studying, serving, writing 10 goals usually leads to stress, not progress. So for this reason, try 1 to 3 main goals maximum. You can always add more later. Right now, give yourself permission to focus on a few things. You can actually show up for rather than many things you feel guilty about. So few things you can show up for. Before we close, let's talk to that part of you that feels tired or disappointed with past goals. Maybe you set goals before and drop them a few weeks in. Maybe you're thinking, what's the point? I never stick with it. You still care about your life. Goals are not about perfection. They are about direction. From a faith perspective, goals are saying, God, this is the direction I'm choosing. As I move, guide me, correct me, open the right doors, close the wrong doors. You're not behind. You are not late. You are right on time for what God wants to grow in you this year. Let's end with one simple action. One simple action step you can take after this video. Number 1, choose one area to focus on first. It could be career, confidence, or well-being. Number 2, write one sentence using the structure. By month, just state the month. I will expand on the specific action that you will be doing. Some examples are, by April, I will apply for 2 new roles that match my skills. By March, I'll speak up once in each team meeting. By February, I'll walk for 15 minutes, 4 days a week. Point number 3, put that sentence somewhere you'll see every day. On your phone lock screen, your mirror, your fridge, or in your planner. In video 2, we'll talk about how to break these goals into small, realistic steps and how to stay on track when life gets busy. If this video helped you, save it so you can return to it and share it with someone who needs a gentle push to start again this year. This is Coach Steph reminding you your goals are not just about 2026. They're shaping who you're becoming. I'll see you in video 2. Thank you for watching.